A lovely good morning to you all. My name is Nancy Rieg. Welcome to Oasis FM. We are still in the month of August and we're celebrating all the prominent women within our society. And today's guest is very special. She is a business lady and she's a photographer. Her name is Eidie, but I'm not going to waste your time and introduce her. Let her tell us a bit more about herself. Welcome to Oasis FM.
Thank you very much, Nancy. I appreciate it so much that you actually invited me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very honored because I know we've got a lot of dynamic women in our town and in our region. So thank you very much for having me today.
You are more than welcome. For those that don't know you and are not very familiar with you, can you tell us a bit more about yourself? How would you describe yourself to a stranger?
Okay. I'm, first of all, a child of my mom and dad.
I'm a mother's child.
Yes. I'm a sibling to my siblings, a sister to my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wife to my husband. I'm a mother to my two beautiful kids. I'm a friend, and then I'm only a photographer.
Okay, and that comes afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, and were you born and raised in Jeffreys Bay or somewhere else?
No, I was born in the Free State, in Kroonstad, travelled a lot, met my husband in Pretoria, and we got married here in Jeffreys in 2000, barefoot on the beach, and that's when I fell in love with this town.
Oh wow, so is it like a decade now?
It is, we moved here in 2008, our kids were born in Pretoria, and we just made a leap of faith the end of 2008 to actually come and follow our passion, that's photography and videography or cinematography. And we decided we're going to come and live here and bring them up in a small town and not in the city.
Okay.
And never look back afterwards.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, some people are like, I want to go to a bigger city.
No.
And
We
you're
were
like,
there, I respect it. Pretoria is a beautiful city, but it wasn't for us.
Okay.
Our family still lives there, they're very happy, but we love the small town vibe and nature and the sea, and what is there not to love?
Exactly. But you and your husband have a photographic business, Rieg AD. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name correctly.
Perfect.
But when did you start becoming a photographer? When did your love start?
Okay. I never went to university or technicon right after school. I went to the army. I was in George.
That's amazing.
I was a soldudi. But when the photography actually started was when I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. My mom wasn't that fortunate. She had to work, and I was privileged enough with Rieg that I could choose. And I told him I want to work from home and be there with the kids. So when I fell pregnant with Richard, our firstborn, I started taking photography courses through the National College of Photography in Pretoria. And that is actually how it started in 2004. That is how my photography career started. And our business only started in 2005, that we started part-time photography in Pretoria. We both studied through the National College of Photography, and that is when we started doing weddings. Rieg still had another job, and only in 2008 we made the decision to make it permanent, and only that, and yeah, that is when it started the Rieg AD photography business.
So you guys are full-time photographers?
Yes, full-time.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you did wedding shoots. So is that something that you strategically decided on, or is that something that came naturally because we love weddings?
Yeah, well, not strategically at all. I always say Rieg and myself are in the love business. So I think weddings just came like naturally. Photographing someone's best flippant day of their lives is their wedding day. We are happily married now for 20 years. So we're very much in love with the love industry. We believe in love. So that just came naturally. It wasn't strategically. And so it was just a natural flow of photography and videography.
Okay, and love is contagious.
Totally.
And what would you say is the most memorable wedding that you've ever shot?
Nancy, you sent me through that questions and I topped on it last night. I don't think there's one wedding per se that I can, there isn't one wedding. Every single wedding has a moment or just a feeling that makes it so special. It's sometimes a glance between a husband and a wife, or between a groom and his grandparents, between a mom and a daughter. There's so many special moments that I feel it will be unfair to say that there was one that stood out. It is just, there's always something special, no matter whether it's a big wedding, a small wedding. It's that connection, and we are very fortunate to actually photograph it, to be there, for the clients to actually choose us to be there. So no, there's no special one, everyone is special.
I was hoping you'd say someone, but now no one is.
No, everyone is.
Yeah,
everyone is.
Everyone is special.
Yes.
And with that, in terms of weddings and shoots, you also have the boudoir part of the shoots that you offer. Is that something that people usually go for, or is that something that's slightly intimidating?
Being Women's Month, I'm a very, very big advocate for positive body image. I believe every woman is beautiful, no matter what your shape. We started with the boudoir photography already in Pretoria. It's a shoot that we've been doing for years. But it started off as a spin-off from wedding photography. It was usually a gift for the husband-to-be on the day of the wedding. So we would do the shoot months before. I would design a book, and it would be gifted for the groom on the day of the wedding. But we soon realized that this was not only a gift for the groom, it became a gift for the bride herself, to see herself in that beautiful way. And that is what we try to instill in everyone. We have actually on our show, we've got a whole episode about the boudoir photography and about just focusing on the beauty of a woman and celebrating a woman's body. Ladies are usually not that comfortable with it. As soon as you show them a photo of how they look through the eyes of the camera and not through their own eyes, because we can be so criticizing towards ourselves, to actually see that you are really beautiful and not stand in front of the mirror and just criticize your body and say, no, my hips are too thick, or my hips are too thin, or my bum is too big, or my bum is too flat. To really see yourself for the beautiful woman that you're created you are created beautifully, no matter what your shape or size, and to actually start loving yourself. And that for us is much more than just a shoot. It's a gift to give to a lady, that she can actually just celebrate herself.
That's really beautiful. And you mentioned that people usually get nervous when you show them pictures or whatever, and I really love the video that you guys posted on your website. Yes, it's very calming, and you elaborate on it very well. And before we jump into the videos and the YouTube, I would love to just put you on the spot and say, if you were left with like one day and you had to choose only one shoot, what type of shoot would you choose?
I'm so glad you asked this question. It's an open question.
Okay.
I know you mean it, but it must be a shoot that we as photographers must do, but I'm going to turn it.
Okay.
I would like to do it, to be in the shoot.
Ooh.
Our family of four, Rieg, Richard and Abigail, and I would like my all-time photography idol. It's a South African-born photographer, Brett Florence. He's now in Switzerland. No, he's overseas. I would love him to photograph us a lifestyle shoot of our own family.
Okay, so you want to be the model.
Yes, I want him to capture our family's love.
That's beautiful.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And I was expecting, it'll be a wedding or whatever, but it's really family-centered.
Yes.
And you guys obviously have to like travel a lot when you do wedding photography or whatever. What is the furthest place that you've ever had to drive to?
Well, I didn't drive, I flew. it was like the ultimate dream coming true, wedding in the Serengeti.
Oh wow.
I traveled myself for a very, very good friend of mine, Elizabeth. She's the owner of Seagull Travels here in town. And I photographed there her, Colin and Elizabeth's wedding in the Serengeti. On the Serengeti plains. We traveled for about 3 days. We were there for 2 sleeps and we traveled back again. It was hectic, and that was for me, up to today, my career highlight.
That's exciting.
Serengeti.
Yeah.
In Africa.
Yeah, that's amazing. And within South Africa, do you sometimes have like Johannesburg shoots?
Yeah, we often travel the entire country. Unfortunately, this year, because of lockdown, we had to postpone a lot of our shoots, but we had a couple of shoots lined up for KwaZulu-Natal. Just before lockdown, a week before lockdown, we had a shoot in Joburg and Shepston's Garden. We've done Cape Town shoots, we've done all over the country. We're destination wedding photographers.
Okay, so you're in demand.
Yeah.
How many receive it?
Thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
And you talked about on your videos, which is your YouTube channel that you guys have. Can you tell us a bit more about it and what content we can expect?
Okay. The entire channel was Rieg's idea. I often during these weeks in lockdown said I wish it was my idea because it was such a freaking great idea. Because we couldn't shoot anymore and we were so restricted, everything was cancelled or postponed for next year this time. And we just realized that we had to focus on our strength. We didn't want to try to do anything else, so we focused on photography and cinematography and on the wedding industry. This was the reason why the channel was born. So we talk to any wedding vendor that's got anything to do with the wedding, from hair and makeup to design to catering, everything that you can think of regarding a wedding. That was the initial plan of the reason why it was born. We want to obviously grow it, and it's going to still be a photography and videography show. It's going to be still Rieg and Eidie's wedding show, but it's going to do everything about photography and photography and videography, yes.
Okay, and just some of my favorite, I think you did a series, which is, I think, your latest, things that I wish I'd done differently. So what one tip can you share for us freely that you shared on things that you could have done differently?
Oh, that is so funny. Okay. It's a very selfish one. It's the hair thing.
Oh my goodness.
That time to not go with trends and to really try to be as timeless as possible with anything that you choose, whether it is shoes, whether it is the dress, whether it is nails. Just try to think of if you've got a fashion icon. I think most of the ladies have like a fashion icon that's a fashion icon forever. You look at that woman's photos and you still think, wow, man. Even in that days, she was freaking fashionable, and you would even wear that top that she's still wearing. It's because it's timeless fashion, and if you can focus on that, don't go with the trends and put all the flowers
No shade to people that do that.
And I know the flower crowns are huge now.
Yes.
It's even bigger than the one that I had in my hair. But yeah, just try to keep it timeless. That would be my solid advice.
Okay, so that's an advice for the ladies. But obviously, going on to sadder things, we are in lockdown era, basically. And now we're in stage 2, thank God.
Oh, thank goodness.
But how did you guys maneuver your way around the lockdown regulations?
My husband is a very black and white person. You do something right or you don't do it. I wanted to shoot. I was so angry at stages, and he's luckily got a way to calm me. So we just focused on, we did a lot of digital images that we sold online of landscape photos that we've taken throughout the years here in Jeffreys Bay. We focused on our marketing. We focused on being active on all social media platforms for our clients so that they can just relax and not think that we are going somewhere or not being in business anymore. I mean, there's a lot of it. It's such a freaking sad thing. There's a lot of businesses that had to close. I mean, we know of many photographers that had to sell their equipment and do something else and start making money in another way. So we were fortunate enough to still survive with help from family, actually. And we sold our digital images, we marketed it, we had a lot of promotions on social media for future business with a lot of discount. We still currently have it. If people go and visit our Facebook page or our Instagram, we are constantly running promotions just to get business up and running again. So that is what we did, what we had to do. And fortunately, we are lucky today. I don't know, Day, how many, where are we now? Day 150 or something.
I've lost count.
And we're still surviving, and we could the entire time focus on our photography and on our videography. So we are very lucky. I'm very, very thankful for that.
And I guess everyone has to be creative in this time.
There's I think when you push to the wall, your creativity sparks, eh?
And the YouTube channel is a testimony of that, which is really great.
Yes.
And obviously, I don't know, I grew up hearing people refer to the person handling the camera as the cameraman, or it's never really the camera woman. So in my mind, the photography and videography world is saturated with a lot of males, and obviously females are challenging that. So with that said, what advice do you have for women that are in this industry or that are starting businesses in this industry?
Nancy, I'm a very lucky woman when it comes to stuff like that. My husband treats me like a queen, so I don't think, I've never been like an advocate. You don't judge me for that, okay? I just think everyone deserves where they're at, whether they are women, whether they are men, what color they are. You have to work hard for what you want to achieve in life. You will have to work very hard for that. If I can give advice for photographers, can I do that?
Yes, please go for it.
Okay. I think that we as photographers or videographers are very, very fortunate if someone asks us to photograph them. Photography is not just a pressing of a button. It is all about making someone feeling comfortable. And you actually are like a mirror. You're reflecting how someone looks, and you have to capture it, and you have to honor it, and you have to respect it, and you have to give back in energy and in love a beautiful feedback so that person can feel comfortable in front of you, because you can only photograph what someone gives you. It's not just a face or a clothes or anything. It is a total reflection of someone's soul, and that is for me what photography is all about. And we have to honor it as photographers. It's not just a game that you make money in or something. It is you working with a person, and you're working with a person's soul, and you are capturing that person's soul. And we have a responsibility to honor that. So that for me is important.
That is beautiful, and it's completely different from seeing someone on the street and saying, "Here's my iPhone, take a picture of me."
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to be a professional in the industry.
Exactly. Before I let you go, if we would love to contact you, where can we reach you on social media or your contact details?
Okay, we've got a Facebook page, Rieg AD Photography. We've got our website is www.radphotography, rad with 2 R's, photography.com. And we've got an Instagram presence, we are rad. And that is it. And if people would like to contact us, it is 071 8966 831.
Okay. So social media would probably be the best one.
Yes, the 3 platforms. I think if you cannot find us there, just Google RAD.
Okay.
Double RAD.
Double R. Thank you so much for making time and just joining us and sharing your journey and giving us advice. We're looking forward to seeing more content on your YouTube channel and on your website.
I appreciate it so much. I was so nervous, and I must give you the credit. You made me feel comfortable. It was very, very nice. Thank you so much for having me.
You are more than welcome. And that is Eidie. She is a businesswoman and she's a photographer. And you can go on her social media pages. They are called Rieg AD Photography. Until next time, my name is Nancy Menzi. Goodbye.